We are live.
Good. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check.
Which one, is it one and one? Rico, this is for the hat when we pass it?
Yep.
How you doing?
I'm just gonna. Rico, I'm gonna start. This is already last, right? It's already last.
Yeah.
Goes without can't help myself.
Make some noise at the Untitled open mic here, Coffee and Conway! Wow. You could be anywhere on a Wednesday. You are here at the cutest venue in all of the universe right now. Don't tell the other venues, but you can brag about it. Thank you for being here at the Untitled open mic. We've been doing this open mic for close to 18 years. So shout out to y'all for being here. Make some noise if you've been to the first year Untitled open mic. Okay. All right, we got some OGs in here. Okay, I like that. Make some noise if this is your first time at the Untitled open mic. Yeah! Be proud. You're here. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Today is a very special evening. I think we say that about all of the open mics, but it's a lovely evening. We have our open mic per usual, but we're also here in celebration and remembrance of our good and dear friend, one of the co-founders of the Low Poetry Wheel, and a person who's been so giving to this poetry community and the Low community is Dr. Dougie Fresh. Make some noise for that, man. This is an incredible packed venue, so shout out to Coffee and Con. If you have any coin, please buy some food, buy some drinks, tip them really well, let them know that you're having a good time here. I do want to acknowledge that in this home that we have for the evening is nice. It's cute. It's cute. Folks are coming from all over the place. You coming with different energies, and I want to be mindful of that. Okay, but we can be a container to hold you, and this open mic. It's been a platform for many years for that, to uplift stories, to share art, to be in community for one another. So regardless of where you're coming from, what kind of energy that you might have, I like to think that we are all here because we really appreciate the art of storytelling and poetry, and that we care about the people in this community. So if you rock with that, can I get a yeah? Yeah. Amazing, amazing. One person said no. It's okay. We'll get you the yeah soon. But with that being said, this space will have a mix of different types of art, different types of storytelling. We have some lighthearted stuff, and we might have some heavy stuff. The range is there, all right? So just be mindful of that. We want this to be a brave and, as close as we can to a safe space. So there's a lot of problematic energy, hateful language, hateful ideas. Don't bring that shit in here. All right, fuck that shit. But does not.
Fucked up shit.
Yeah, yeah. That's some fucked up shit. Oh yeah, no fucked up shit, but
You can fuck shit up.
fuck shit up. There we go. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Doesn't mean you have to be nice on this open mic. Be real. Be authentic. Start dialogue. All right.
Don't be nice.
That's
Be
it.
necessary.
Beautiful. Y'all are a great crowd. So yeah, this is the space we have conversations. We are sharing our stories. Just be just for folks, y'all give energy back. All right, folks on the stage is giving energy. You give energy back. So if you like something you hear tonight, there's ways to show that you're rocking with us. Can we get some snapping real quick? Smooth. Maybe someone just performed, and it was just like, I want to say a big thank you. You can clap for the homie. Can we practice clapping? I've been getting a lot of these, and I've been giving out a lot of these. Like a good hug and that embrace feels really nice. Maybe you want to respond like you just received a hug or just gave a hug. Like, yes, amazing. So those are ways that you can respond appropriately. All right. So give energy back. That's all we're about. Giving energy back. All right. If you are sharing anything on the open mic tonight, that you feel like is strong content, or we'll see. Just let us know. So we encourage you to give us a heads up, folks in the audience. Please do what you have to do to take care of yourself. All right, move in and out of the space as see fit. All right, there are gendered bathrooms at the end of the hall, and there are other non-gendered bathrooms. You can talk to the Coco staff if you want to have access to those bathrooms. All right, they'll be able to help you out at the Reggie. I can't read your lips. I'm so sorry, Nikolai. 2865 is the bathroom code at the end of the hall, specifically. But yes, so do you gotta do to take care of yourself? Yeah, just be gracious, be caring to our neighbors. We hope that the upholding this home doesn't just fall on the organizers, but all of us here. We're all part of this home and upkeeping the Untitled open mic. So if you are about that, can I get a yeah?
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, I don't want to talk too much because we do have a very full evening. All open mics, all sharebacks. I mentioned at the beginning, there's a limited open mic in the beginning for folks who just want to just talk this shit, share their art. But moving and following that, we will have our tribute open mic, which is all stories, poems, all in remembrance and celebration for Dr. Dougie Fresh. All right, so that is after the regular open mic. That is our themed main event tonight. If you may have trouble reading the list, there is 2 sections, and one section is for those who do not want to be video recorded and live streamed. This event is being live streamed and documented because we're all about archiving and being able to share this with our broader community. So keep that in mind, folks. We have our lovely homie and photographer, Tim. What's up? Hey, hi. That's a homie right there. Tim's capturing photos to make us look cute. If you want a new profile pic, you want to remember the evening. If you don't want to be photographed, just let us know, and we won't take any cute photos of you. Understand? We get it. All right. I just want to look at our homies. Are we forgetting anything? Okay. Yes. The open mic, the first open mic, is a very limited open mic. I want to remind us that we're going to do 3 minutes max for the open mic. All right. We want to do our best to get as many folks on, and I believe we can do that. So if you are sharing, just be mindful. We want to be able to hear as many stories as we can for the evening. Oh yeah. Okay. If you are sharing some shit tonight that you feel like you just unearthed and it's some dusty shit, you have something called old shit.
Oh shit!
Maybe you just crafted something brand new. It's shiny. Maybe it's a little ugly. It's okay. It's like a new baby. You got something called new shit.
New shit!
And then you have all the shit in between. So if you say the thing and shit, we'll say the thing and shit with y'all. All right. Beautiful. If this is your first time sharing on an open mic, let us know. Okay. If it's your second time sharing on an open mic, let us know.
Please.
I think that covers it. with that being said, thank y'all so much for being here and adding to the energy. Appreciate y'all so much. Low Poetry Wheel. We'll do more announcements, but to open up the open mic, our co-host and co-organizer with the killer eyebrows, let's give it up for Nikolai.
More like killed eyebrows because they are gone. Hello, everyone. As Ricky introduced me, my name is Nikolai Rolovich. I'm one of the co-hosts for this evening, co-organizers. She, her, they, them, or goth girl. I respond to any of it. I have some old shit.
Old shit.
Fan favorite shit.
Fan favorite shit.
This piece is titled, Look at the Moon.
Look at the moon, shit.
I don't think the moon knows how to take shit, but watch where you want to
What are
watch.
the stars then?
Gas. That's different. Anyway, look at the moon. We can't always see her, but she's always there. She's always there. And when my eyes lay upon her, I can't help but stop and stare. And what I see is her beauty. It captivates me. I'm captivated by her glow, and I know that the light she gives is borrowed from the sun, but not even the star that keeps our planet alive and thriving can compare. Nothing can compare to what makes me stop and stare at our beautiful moon, whether nighttime or noon. It's not soon enough until I see her again, whether shining through my blinds and bleeding into my room through my window, or in the parking lot of my work when I have a closing shift. My dad picks me up and I look in awe and say to him, "Look at the moon." Indeed, I implore you, all of you, to look at the moon. A year ago today, whether it's the day I'm writing this or the day I'm reading this, or maybe 2 or 3 or 10 years ago from when I'm reading this, depending on how time decides to occur, I was on Camp Arifjan in Kuwait and allowing myself to await my return to my home. But I knew that wherever I were to roam, whether Kuwait or Saudi or sitting outside of my porch listening to sun and singing along to Audi, no matter where I was or am or will be or who I'm with, I know that for as long as time exists, so will she. And despite how poignant and celestially palpable it is, I don't envy her beauty. My sun, my star, exploded in a supernova when he left me for one of my favorite shades of green. But I'm left with no envy for her or the moon that watched us while we loved on Camp Arifjan, because that same moon watched me as a child, a tween, a teenager, as a young adult in this country or the next, and saw me come back home. And one Thursday night, in the parking lot of my church, before I got on the back of a motorcycle that I rode there with my best friend, merely days before a concert that would change my life and allow me to meet people who are more deserving of the titles of hero and lifesaver than me, I bruised my knee. But before I did that, I looked up at the sky with my glasses off so I could put on my helmet. I looked up to the sky and saw her for probably the millionth time in my life, but with all of the adoration in the universe, I said to my best friend Adam, "Look at the moon." And I'm staying here because I will be your host for the regular open mic. So get used to me, please. Thank you. Alrighty. Oh, we didn't do on deck or any of that. Whoopsie daisy. Whoopsie daisy. Everyone say bad hosts, plural.
No.
Okay, thank you. Wow, that's our first. Phew. Alrighty. Okay. On deck, we have Ez. Ez, you are on deck. But this next homie, knows exactly who they are. This homie actually knows the best technique for chopping onions without crying. Please welcome our dear friend, our intern. You know him, you love him, not as much as I do. Teddy to the stage.
I missed you guys. It's been a while. I got something that, if you've heard me read here before, you're probably going to roll your eyes because I've read it a bunch of times. But between the time limit and just because it felt right, I'm gonna read one of my favorite short stories that I've written, The Willow Where We Met. Mara pushed through the briars and brush that marked the end of the forest. For an hour now, she had been walking, finally closing in on her destination. The dense forest made way to a meadow about 2 acres in size. What was once a field of tall green grass decorated with yellows, reds, purples, and whites was now a plain of withered death. The cold had devoured all vitality and left the land destitute of color. Soon the floral corpses would be crushed under the weight of snow and ice, suffocated even in death. The skies above were hidden, veiled in gray. The sun choked out, as though ash had been heaped onto it, till all that remained was a struggling glow. It did not rain, yet the skies hauled grass and dragging them in whichever direction it cried, refusing them a restful death. Mara moved in opposition to the wind and the lifeless grass that yielded to its power towards the singular icon of the meadow, the place where she had met her closest friend, where she had once said yes to the love of her life. So easily the meadow's fur parted at her step, bending, yielding, crunching, snapping, leaving behind her a trail of desecration amidst an untouched field. And there it was, a grand weeping willow tree, 70 feet tall, with wide-reaching branches that bent downwards like the hair of a woman whose head was hung in sorrow. It was dead, overturned, wrenched from the soil it was tied to. Its roots, once its greatest strength, now shamefully exposed. The leaves, once a brilliant green, now leached of its beauty into a lifeless brown. Its branches were once an arcing shelter that protected its visitors from the beating sun of a summer's day. A secret world where all manner of laughters and games and stories were kept hidden under its shroud, now torn asunder. Its branches, desiccated and snapped like brittle bone, no longer provided any shelter. In the distance, the mourning doves occasionally cooed, as if singing a lament of the bygone glory of the willow, and the wind cried its wheezing call, declaring the arrival of winter's death. Mara sat at the foot of the upheaved roots, looking outward across the destitute field. No one waited for her return. The only embrace she now had was that of the bitter autumn wind. And it's going to be a really cold winter without you, Dougie. I miss you.
All right. Give it up, you guys, for Teddy. Now, although this is not Teddy's second time on the open mic, it's been a minute, so we're gonna do something real special real quick. On either 3, 2, 1, or 1, 2, 3. I haven't decided yet. We're all gonna say, "They came back." Can we do that?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
They came back.
Don't be gone so long next time. If it's under your control. I don't know. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. Alrighty. On deck, we have Mia. MYA. I'm sorry. I'm doing my best. This homie is on deck. Our next homie has mastered the mind-boggling art of competitive, performative standing.
Whoa.
I know. They're trying to get on to the Olympics next year. Please welcome the homie Ez to the stage. Clap to the homie guest
Hello. I've got a poem.
Yay, thumbs.
Holy shit. A lot of people in this house. All right. This is ugly poem number 24. If you see me perform up here, you probably heard one of my ugly poems. Yeah. I mourn for versions of myself that died in my care. I planted them, reared them, and left them to rot. In my negligence, I destroyed futures beyond my comprehension. Potential isn't real, just a vague idea of lives that I could have lived. But they feel so real, so tangible. Little kids and hopeful teenagers, singers and computer scientists, mothers and music teachers. Standing trial before my dead futures, I plead my case. I defend the man I've become and the lives I have yet to kill in my desperation to have everything. Would they rather have nothing? Rather me have nothing? I've spent their potential selfishly, surviving. I used the hooks I hung their hopes on to scale cliffs and canyons. I hope they don't let me fall.
Give it up for the homie ads. All right. Moving swiftly along. Sreya, you are on deck. This next homie, they have an overwhelmingly impressive threshold of knowledge on the topic of snails.
Knew it.
Please welcome Maya to the stage. Clap till the homie gets here.
This is an old piece I wrote called Freak.
Oh, shit.
What do you mean you don't know who you are? That doesn't make sense. You are not meant to question what God has given you. It is all a part of his plan. You are born and live until you die. Nothing should be different. Until you are born and live waiting, wishing to die, until you are born questioning your whole self, you know you are born different. But you also know it's God's plan. You are born and live with something different. Feelings you can't name but wish to go away. These feelings a little girl who hates her name and hates the color pink and all things feminine was born with. This little girl doesn't understand. Why is she so different? Why is she feeling this way? Why are these feelings not okay? You know you shouldn't. She knows she shouldn't, and yet she is searching within. You can't name what's wrong until you find a name. And you hear the name and the picture becomes clear. It becomes clear and you embrace it. In private, where no one can see, keeping it and shielding it from the harsh world. Embrace it alone until someone comes along and you can embrace it together. But you still know it's not safe. None of this is safe to feel, yet you share it more and more, facing the hate backed by the love felt from everyone who cares, the people who truly know you. The picture's clear until it gets smudged. You try to wipe it away, but it spreads further. Confusion comes back and doubt hits harder than ever, and it's all being back to being boxed away, and you still don't know. Who are you? Who is that little girl? Who is this boy she is looking at? Who is this person? What is wrong with them? It shouldn't be this hard to understand. But yet, he is lost. She is still lost. And they don't know if they'll ever be found. But it's God's plan.
Oh, additionally, folks, the mics are adjustable. Thank you for presenting that as well to us, Maya. Question for you, homie. Hi, question for you. Was this your first or second time on the open mic? It's your second time on the open mic. Oh my gosh, let's go. Okay. Decorum. Okay. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, whichever I decide, we're all gonna say they came back. Okay. All right.
Yes, we're ready.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. They came back. Let's go. Alrighty. On deck we have Chris. We have Chris on deck. Alrighty. This next homie they have a very noble goal. They are an aspiring apple pie baker.
That's fire.
Right? That's noble. So yes, please welcome this very chivalrous homie to the stage. Sreya! Clap till he gets here!
Hi. So I wrote this on November 5th of this year and read it for the first time on November 6th of this year. First time. It's called What's in Your Bedroom? Post-Presidential Election 2024. 1. A library under your desk, stocked with titles like The New Jim Crow and He, She, They. They're not illegal, but they're not allowed either. The pages are faded and stained a deep brown from all of the nights you spent attempting to cram their knowledge into your head. 2. A card you wrote when you were young, bursting with false hope and a pitiful naivete. The weathered cardstock is still adorned with the colors of your flag because you loved America then. You wrote birthday cards to your country's independence and colored in the bubble letters with thick Crayola
Crayola markers beneath the sky of sickeningly celebratory explosions that would someday only sound like wartime. 3. An empty box of emergency contraceptive from a mistake you made moons ago. You should have thrown it out, hidden it away, but you're too sentimental. And someday, when Plan B becomes Plan E, F, and G, an empty box like this could be worth thousands. A relic that could serve as a reminder from a time of safety and security that is now long lost. 4. A paper you penned with an A scrawled across the cover, still propped stiff against the piles of old paperwork. It's a monument to a moment in time when your voice was valued, when your words had weight, when those around you weren't so terrified of listening. 5. A tube of colorful hair dye and a collection of formal ties from the days when your mere existence felt just a little less dangerous. When emphasizing your differences felt a little less like taking a kick-me note to your spine or a touch-me sign to your box braids or breasts. 6. A photo of you as a child on your stepfather's shoulders. You're clinging to his neck with small brown hands. The comfort and security you've expressed in this picture feels foreign now. Probably because it was taken after you learned to accept what separated you. Definitely because it was taken before he revealed he could not do the same for you. Or wouldn't. 7. A dried up sticker containing 6 red and blue letters clinging to the frame of your bed that proves you did what was right that day. A loose watermelon pin that proves right is relative. A bright-eyed blonde man on a 1989 cover of Time magazine that makes you question whether any of it would have mattered in the end. 8. Your passport, tucked deep into your desk drawer, stuffed with savings plans and travel brochures from when you thought you might bolt. It was an exciting prospect, romantic even, until you were faced with the reality of having nowhere else to go and far too much to leave behind. You grab it now because it's exactly what you came for. You'll need an ID if you're going to register your motherfucking uterus.
Give it up for the homie Sreya. Now, some of us may be familiar that Sreya is here very often as one of the best baristas I've ever experienced. However, my love, platonically, is this your first time on the Untitled open mic?
No, and I'm offended by that.
It was a yes or no question, goddamn. Clap for the homie. Last time I do my due diligence ever the fuck again. Okay, all right. On with the show. All right. On deck, we have Renee. Renee, you are on deck. This next homie actually wrote and directed my favorite German comedy titled Alles Kleber. If any of you know German, that'll be really fun of you. Alles Kleber. Yeah. Which one of you just... And please welcome Chris to the stage. Clap for the homie.
There's so many people here, and it makes me feel so good that we are all here. Solidarity, community, all that good stuff. Beautiful. Anyway, it is Trans Day of Remembrance. So this poem is for that. The amount of mini skirts I own is approximately 3. And although I can imagine a lot more than 3 ways to wear a mini skirt, somehow it's easier to imagine them on you. I was born in the body that man chose for mini skirts, but not the right soul. An indecipherable thing wearing a girl costume. A long time ago, I remember I said that girl is a feeling, and you feel it so well. Overflowing are my assumptions that you'd wear it even better. Endless are the things I do to feed your hungry truth. I'd let you take what you need straight from my mouth, the blood from my neck. Sinfully, I find myself in places where these thoughts don't match the environment I'm in. But the outfits in my head I'm picturing on you absolutely do. And when they fall to your ankles and I am on my knees, literally and metaphorically, girl is a feeling and I want to feel you. But God put me in this body that should have belonged to you. If I could, I'd wrap it up in a thoughtful way. Pink ribbon, blue paper, for you to have forever. I would give my flesh for you to feel safe in a skin meant for you. And yours, I will take willingly. So as to eat well, fill the holes in our bellies with truths overflowing.
Alrighty, give it up for Chris. All right. You guys, we're almost done with the regular open mic. Isn't that wild? Also, thank you. Thank you to everyone for being so well behaved with the time limit. We're so proud of you. Can't say that for everybody. But you guys are doing great tonight. On deck we have Z. Yeah. Okay, we're barking already. Okay, yeah. I didn't start saying anything yet. Alrighty, this next homie, they wrote and illustrated Ricky's favorite cookbook.
Oh,
Isn't that right? Isn't that right? He's not going to tell what it is. He's kind of gatekeeper. But anyway. Please welcome the homie Renee to the stage. Clap for the
There are definitely a lot of people here. We'd love to see that.
Right.
All right. Growing up, when I would knock on my sister's door, my fists connecting with conviction, it was ritualistic that I approach her room late night just to share a bowl of cereal. This is how our bond was birthed. I was always scared of the dark, and she was always scared of being alone. Through this, we learned neither of us could cry over milk we spilt ourselves. We shared a love for sneakers, knowing that sneakers were life lessons waiting to be outgrown for those willing to walk a mile in shoes made for someone else. When we learned to say grace to God, the universe, or whoever was listening, we realized the funny thing about God is that we pray to what we have not yet seen. We often question ourselves when looking in the mirror, brushing our teeth with disbelief, washing our face of sin, but trust that our accomplishments fall in the hands of another. We trust that our failures are undoubtedly our own, even when an increased rate of anxiety flushes through our veins, and so we say grace. Dear God, thank you. But as we pull up chairs to a table with God, we understand that to believe in God sometimes feels like believing in imposter syndrome. We are not who people think we are. We are not who we think we are, and so we say grace. Dear God, thank you, because giving credit to others for our own success is what we do best. And when we join together, associated wholeheartedly in what we believe, the congregation becomes our gang. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, each bearing a bullet in our prayers, affiliation to God can be a funny thing. It feels righteous, fighting for what we believe in, but when did God start jumping us in? We square up, filling our lungs with faith, each breath the first of its kind, awaiting scars from falls we aren't truly ready for. Falls that chip away at our confidence, but add to our scrapbook of belonging. Our skin knows no binding in the eyes of God. We are only bonded to the last person we connected with, or the last person our fist connected with, or the pavement, or the grass, all shouting, watching as the old faith is beaten out of us and the new faith is beaten into us. Now we are family, or a community, or a village. But look, the next time we pull up to a table with God covered in the new bruises of faith, remember, the first person to make a move says grace. Thank you.
Nice.
Give it up for the homie. Well, now I'm scared to ask people that I don't. Why'd you have to do me like that? Now I'm like, put your hands down. Okay, on the count of 3, we're all gonna say they came back.
How can you be easy like that?
Don't blow me kisses. Okay. 1, 2, 3, they came back. I don't dance for free. I have to pay to dance in Cambridge. Depends on the venue. Anyway. Anywho. So our next homie is gonna be the illustrious outro to our regular open mic. And then I'm gonna hand things over to the one, the only but y'all are stuck with me for a couple more minutes. So I'm gonna bring our last poet up. This individual has completed a feat. At least I'm thoroughly impressed by this. This next homie. Sorry.
You got it.
Decorum. They memorized the entire script of the B movie.
You like jazz?
Hell yeah, I do. And so does this homie. Please welcome this incredible homie to the stage. Please welcome Z to the stage. Okay. I love seeing this room full to the brim. This makes me so happy. This is really wonderful. So I'm gonna do 2. One of them's a baby one, and then the other is one I promised I'd do for Lauren the next time I came to Untitled. So so this is one that I've been feeling a lot lately. These are both gonna be from like the same historical based chapbook. But this one is called Please Leave a Light On When You Go. The warmth of the candles remind me that there is still so much grief left to thaw before I'm fully healed from it. It's now the holidays without him here. Another poem he doesn't get to hear. More family I don't get to show him. If there's a way to show me he's here, would I have even found it by now? We're gonna see if I can do this off the dome still. Probably not, but that's why I have it on standby in my pocket. So the last time I saw Lauren, she's like, the next time you come to Untitled, I want you to do
historical poem. And so this is me doing historical poem. So this is one that people from assorted venues have heard many, many times. But I'm doing it again. This is called Accolades. Was the world the one to teach you how to drown without water? Did they tell you that your name gets whispered many, many decades after you succumb? If they haven't, well, it does. They sent me a paper-bound vessel with your name whispering between the covers, and I used to remember how many times it got mentioned by heart, but has since faded from memory. And although but a characterization, that's where it started. The need to tell the world of a permanently overshadowed boy. One who didn't care where he ended up so long as he went. So long as your father told your brother to get you seasoned to the trenches, you would stay out and turn slaughter into your wheelhouse. No one told you it would combust in your face because nobody knew it would. Why no one saw the gunpowder ashes spiraling across the breeze for 3 decades before your lungs had given out, I will never understand. It's not your fault your accolades didn't get projected as hard as your brothers. You were there just the same. You don't need to be outstanding to be seen or a scholar to be heard. Here's to you, the one who never got what he deserved. The ship with slightly loose floorboards that can still sail out into the open sea. It wasn't meant to be a perfect vessel. Otherwise, there would be no skill behind the steering wheel. Here's to you, cornflower-eyed wonder. I cannot think of any other way to tell them that you've haunted me, and you deserve to think of yourself as more than the unlucky one of the family. Trust me, I know that all too well. The further down the bloodline, the more the legacy snowballs into avalanches unto our backs, the more we stop being remembered for who we are, rather, who was crafted before us. Rather, can they match the spotlight that glares into the crowns of our heads? Maybe I'll never know what your voice sounded like. Or how your family's collective pair of lungs broke twice within a decade, and how you pushed yourself to the edge to ease their journey into heaven's gates with a facade of, it'll be all right, you're on the mend. Or how, no matter what, you remain a force to drive others to see the next day, including me. Here's to you. This is all for you. No need to share this seat this time. We crafted it just for you, and I hope you'll forgive me. I'm not the best woodworker myself. I kind of bruised my hands a bit and stained my cheeks with the colors. But for the fact that no one has given a home like you did, this is for you. Whatever happens from here, we'll understand. Because we are here.
Give it up for the homie C. All right, this time you guys actually have to say bad host because I made an oops.
We forgive you.
I'm not really
You're fired.
I'm hearing a lot of fuck yous dying a hole and oh my gosh, so I'm very confused. April, are you still here? I'm so sorry. There was a splotch next to your name. I thought it was crossed up. I didn't know you still wanted to read. Everyone, welcome this very, very patient individual who does not deserve to April. And welcome April to the stage. That's a great question, April. Okay, thank you.
So, this is actually my first time writing poetry. That's not for a school assignment.
beauty in all that is small. I am envious of such beauty. I am envious to the point of yearning to be something I'm not, to be something I can't, to be something disgusting. So overwhelmingly abhorrent that people scream and cry at the sight of me. I want to be a larva. A big fat throbbing larva with a big red bulb of a head and a thick white body. I want to be a larva that wriggles and grubs underground with only the goal of complete metamorphosis in its simple, one-tracked mind. I want to be a larva. There's no standard for larvae. They know to eat and crawl and survive. They are allowed to thrive. They are allowed to thrive without the overbearing weight of beauty and perfection. A curious worm-like creature that pulses fervently with the potential of its future form. Only then would I reach true self-actualization, because I am not meant to exist. I want to be a larva. I'm not meant for modern trivialities. I'm not meant for love and longing, for these complicated emotions that gnaw me unrelentingly with sharp teeth and swallow me entirely, that leave me to dissolve in a rolling vat of stomach acid. I am meant to consume and perceive, but I am not meant for emotions, so I want to be a larva. There's an acquired beauty in it, this form of life that eats and eats and eats. It eats until it can no longer, and it changes. It evolves into its final form, a beetle. And that's the end.
Give it up for the homie April. Now, I've been informed politely. Don't hide. This was April's first time on the open mic. So, we've done a lot of thinking. We're going to get to a please come back.
What's the comeback so we can do the they come back?
Exactly. Yeah, it's an incentive. Third time. Alrighty. On the count of three, we're all gonna say, "Please come back." Can we do that? Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Please come back!
Hell yeah. Alrighty. So the regular open mic is done. So it's finito. And now I'm going to bring up for the rest of, put your tongue back in your mouth. Get up here. Ricky Horn.
Just give it up for Nikolai for holding it down. Wow, it's a fucking beautiful scene. All right. Just so I can text the homies that couldn't be here. Can I just do a video of us making a lot of noise and cheering and put our hands up? Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. I want to go from this side. I want to go to that side, but then I want to go back again. If the wave is happening all the time right now, then yes. 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you. All right. Just want to let people know I'm safe and low. Yo, thank y'all for being here. I want to do some quick announcements. Let y'all know what's going on. This is the Low Poetry Wheel. We are an organization all about cultivating and promoting the art of poetry here in the city of Lowell, Massachusetts, and beyond. We have 3 lovely spokes. That's why our wheel's a little bit wobbly, but we love that. All right. So you can hear us pulling up. You are here at the Untitled open mic. We do this first and third Wednesday. It's our twice a month open mic reading and event. The first Wednesday we always have a feature, and the second Wednesday we always have some sort of slam. This is how I want to introduce. We're doing the math right? Is that no? Okay. So what we have is the math right? That's kind of wrong. Anyway, regardless, the slam is what kind of shadows our next spoke, which is Mill City Speaks. All right, it's our a community of writers that also happens to do slam as well as workshops. So if you were here, we have some in-person workshops just down a few doors. at the beginning of the open mic, but we also have our online workshops, which happens on every second Tuesday. All right. So just a heads up, if you're interested in being in community with people at the comfort of wherever your device is, we have that second, not the second Tuesday, which happens to be December 10th. All right. So that's our Mill City Speaks online workshop. Beautiful, beautiful. And to say more, that goes into our next event, which is December 4th, which is another Untitled open mic, but is our Mill City Speaks qualifier. All right. So if you are interested in participating in this competition, this silly competition where we get people together to listen to poetry intently and have random guests in the audience be judges and putting numbers to scores. It's a good time. It's a good time. We do that. It's to get a group of people together for to formulate our next season of our slam team to represent this organization, this venue, this city, the city speaks. All right, so definitely come out for that if you have any info.
And for those in the know, we are already signed up for Midwest Poetry Mashup.
Midwest Poetry Mashup. That's in Michigan. Minneapolis. Minnesota. Minnesota. There's a lot of M's in there. Not at your mama house. All right. So there's opportunities to continue to be in community with writers, whether it's a slam team or workshops. All right. So that's really dope. And really excited about our next feature, which is December 18th. These are all December events. We're ending the year strong, right? So we have our lovely feature by Alex Kiss, yo. Yes, right. Homie's gonna come through and rock the house. So it's gonna be a good time, good time. So that's a Low Poetry Wheel. If you're interested in learning more about Low Poetry Wheel, check out lowpoetry.com, lowpoetry.org. We have our events listed there, ways to get in touch. So please be a face here and be a face online. Okay. I also want to mention that this year, a lot of our programming is being supported by the American Rescue Plan.
Thanks, American Rescue Plan.
We, as Dougie would say, we are taking part in rescuing America. All right. So with that being said, thank you, the homies too that was able to help support us through our programming. But our event is a we say proudly poor, but what really is we want this event to be accessible as much as we can make it. So we don't charge anyone at the door. If you have coin, please support the venue or Coffee and Con. But if you do have the means to support us, we are taking hat money. Okay, so actually, also, I feel like it was Dougie must have been the first person to pass their hat. Probably they may have been a cup earlier, may have been a bucket, maybe a shoe, but the hat has been Dougie's hat. So we are just going to continue that tradition of passing the hat. You do not have to put coin in it, even though that would be nice, but just touch the hat, put some good intentions in there, and make sure everyone touches the hat. Okay, that feel good?
Dougie's hat.
Beautiful, beautiful. We're not taking any online donations in the moment unless you want to donate to my personal Venmo, which I can give you. Is Ricky ORNG. Just make sure you put the open mic in the description.
Ask me later how to spell my name. You're not going to get it right the first time.
So Ricky ORNG. If you want to make a digital transaction, don't. Our Venmo's chilling right now. So we'll pass the hat. Rick will pass the hat right here. So we'll do that real quick. Lovely. Yeah, just make sure everyone touch it. Good, good, good.
We also have some prompts in the hat if anybody is curious and wants to snag a prompt to write some poems later. Take one, pass it on.
Apparently there are prompts in the hat, so you can take stuff out of the hat. Don't take any money out. Okay? All right? We're not even charging you for the prompts. We're just giving that to you. So keep that in mind. All right. So thanks again. Low Poetry Wheel on Instagram is our social media handle. We'll do our best to keep y'all in the know-how and what's going on and all of that loveliness. All right? Cool. We are moving on to the next section of our event. Can I get some noise? If y'all can rock with me real quick. we're going to do our best to get as many folks on here. This is a beautifully dense open mic. So I will try to be gracious with my hosting and y'all as well when you're sharing on here. This part of the open mic is our tribute for our lovely dear friend, Dr. Dougie Fresh Bishop, who has been just holding it down. I remember rocking with Dougie, first time meeting homie at the middle school. He was doing programs out there and inviting Freeverse to do some some performances and workshops and school visits. And homie just found his way helping us run shit. So it's been amazing over a decade of just being alongside just a lovely and giving person. Dougie's been writing and doing poetry for a long time, probably before maybe I was born. But the fact that he continued to do that and love this community, and especially like I know he loves what we're doing with No City Speaks. He loved and really cared about the youth scene and with Freeverse and been instrumental in keeping that going. So I just want to do a big shout out. Like I mentioned, y'all came here for whatever reason, but we are here to be in this place, to fill this room with so much love and energy and stories, and I think that can be felt outside of these walls, right? And it's just a reminder, regardless of your personal journey and where the people that you hold dear and close to you, if you want to think about those people that you care about and you want to invite them in and celebrate them in this space as well, I invite you to do that as well. All right. So whether streaming online or like in here in spirit, there are people who have been instrumental to us or impact us in many incredible ways. So hopefully you might hear some of those stories, but I like to think we bring those people and we carry those people with us along the way. So yeah, can I get a yeah for that? Yeah. Beautiful. This open mic is divided into two parts. This first part it's just the open mic, but we do have a section where we will close the stream and no longer video record, and that's the latter half of this open mic. So just giving y'all a heads up where we're going to make that transition. So if you sign up for the first part, you're rocking with us, okay? Just a reminder, if you don't want to be photographed, just let Tim know, and we'll keep you cute to yourself. All right. With that being said, I will let y'all know who's on deck, which is the homie Mike. Mike, you're on deck. Oh my God. I think there's only one mic on here. Oh, not Linehan. Mike Regan. Okay, sorry. I was reading that. I was okay. Is it cool if I just share an old piece with y'all? This is an old piece. Thank you. I remember just reading it and sharing it with the homie Dougie. And I think about this piece is more about legacy than anything. So thank you. Tell them I was a selfless man. Tell them I gave all of myself to things I wanted to outlive me. Tell them I was steam. Tell them that even when the water ran out inside me, I still whistled. Tell them I never broke. Tell them my bones never cracked. Tell them I never cracked under pressure. Tell them I lived life preciously. Tell them I lived life like poetry. Tell them that every second was a performance. Tell them I performed to the best of my capability. Tell them I prayed to God inside me. Tell them I sometimes feared myself. Tell them that every memoir was a biblical scripture. Tell them I love life unscripted, too foolish, too fool's gold, too golden. Tell them I rep my city. Tell them I learned how to stand up through repetition. Tell them I ran shit. Tell them that I Van Gogh. Tell them I go where no man has gone. Tell them no man has gone, but gone somewhere greater. Tell them we're all going somewhere greater. Tell them we were selfless people. Tell them we gave ourselves to each other. Tell them we were steam whistling everywhere. The coal underneath the kettle brewing. Everyone at the table, a cup of tea. Tell them we didn't back down. Tell them we walk with the weight of the world on our backs. Tell them our backs broke, our bones crack, our hearts beat, all by choice. Tell them we choose to live life preciously by the way we wanted to, imperfectly, poetically, with purpose. Tell them we are so golden. Our cities shine, look like the sun bathed his hair in the soil beneath our feet. Tell them we are never defeated. Tell them that we are masters of putting the pieces of ourselves back together. Tell them that we are masterpieces. 1,000 paintings screaming a single word here. Tell them we are so amazing that we walk into rooms greeted with smiles, that the hearts are the size of neighborhoods. Each of our fingers a temple erected on a city sidewalk corner. Tell them we are beautiful. Tell them that no one is gone, but is gone somewhere greater. We are all going somewhere greater. So tell them to remember me and to remember us. Thank you.
My dad.
Hi, son. For legal purposes, no. Jesus Christ. Okay. Doing the first spot up here is a little intimidating, but yeah, here I am. I'm gonna try and share 2 quick stories about Doug, and then I have a piece that I wrote, a short piece a couple weeks ago. I first met Douglas a number of years ago when we were doing open mics at Brewed Awakening, which Lauren introduced me to, and
You're welcome.
I'm very grateful that I was brought into this community with such open arms, not only from her and everybody else, but from him specifically. One of the things that I really appreciated and that I really loved about Douglas was his dedication and his willingness to the future of not only like us as poets, but like the future generations of people that are writing. One of the things that really kind of caught me off guard, that really hit me emotionally very recently, we had done a meeting with Mill City Speaks, and we were just kind of jotting down what our goals in poetry were and what our goals in personal life were. And one of the things that I told the group was that, I really wanted to do a feature here someday. And that wasn't something that, like, it was just, that was a personal thing of mine. I don't like, but Douglas saw that important enough to write down in his notebook. And that shit really, really meant a lot to me. And then one of the other things that really, really sticks out to me is that as a poet, I am not, like, I come up here with an energy that a lot of people, can vibe with, but I am my worst critic. I hate the shit I write. You guys like the shit I write. I hate it. But regardless of anything I wrote, and regardless of how I felt about it, even if it was like, because I write shit about Sonic the Hedgehog and like Mario and like anime and shit like that, but like and Muppets. But no matter what it was, and it didn't matter if Douglas understood the reference or not, he always took the time to stop and talk to me at the end of any open mic or slam and just tell me what he liked about my pieces when I didn't feel confident in them, and that was something that meant a lot to me. And I'm gonna miss having that encouragement from him. With that said, I'm gonna read some new shit that I wrote for Douglas. Dougie shit. We are the troubadours of the modern age, a troupe bound by a kinship in the waxing of lyrics sewn together by budding wordsmiths. Yes. Because while we come to this space sometimes tired or downtrodden, we will always put what we have towards the hat. A hope to finish a piece long forgotten, a drive to perform better than our previous slam, encouragement to show a potential artist that they have what it takes to put their art out into the world, and a love for our community that the hat fostered. There will never be a hat like the one I first passed to another artist, but I will always feel the same energy when it was handed to me. Fresh. I love you, Dougie. I miss you.
Appreciate you, Mike. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to keep the evening going. Chris, you are on deck. I'm really excited to bring up our next lovely homie and friend. Let's give it up for Lauren, y'all. Clap it up for Lauren until we get to the stage.
What's up?
Okay, so I want to read a small, very short, like song that I heard recently that made me sob and pull over on 495. You know what that's like. Because it made me think of like today in this moment. And then I'm going to read a poem that Dougie wrote after that. So this song is called Never Apart by the Avett Brothers. Life cannot be written, it can only be lived. An endless sea of vision for each is born within. And death is not an issue, it cannot break my heart. And I don't have to miss you because we'll never be apart. No, I don't have to miss you because we'll never be apart. Love is what you gave me, and love is what I give you. It is in the smallest movement, it fills the starless void. Our fingertips were touching through light years passed between us. No energy created, no energy destroyed. The work is set before us, the path is clear and cold. The new year is only 6 days old. I didn't want to leave all my discoveries behind, but another me left long ago, and I know she's doing fine. Life cannot be written, it can only be lived. An endless sea of vision for each is born within, and death is not an issue. It cannot break my heart. And we don't have to miss you because we'll never be apart. No, we don't have to miss you. We'll never be apart. Shout out to the Avett Brothers one time. All right. So this is a Dougie original called Speaking Truth to Father Time.
You.
I apologize in advance. I don't know how to forgive you, Father. You may think you might escape, but you will always remain a prisoner. You will always be counting step by step, day by day, year by year. It's only in the counting. The continual scratching of that antique pen, the crackling of the old parchment paper, skinny fingers walking back and forth like insects, line after line, the dregs of the wine in your glass slowly drying out untouched. The concrete block walls, the barred windows, the buzzing bulbs. Why is this the legacy you want to give us? Of course, you pretend to compute the gift of our lives when all you really want is to drag us back, giggling and warm and unaware, whispering that there could be no other way, that you were the only one, the only option to protect us. You forced us to memorize verbatim the lies you taught us so that you could beat us with your thin cane, counting each stroke every time we forgot one or said it with a stutter or held it too long on our tongue. It's all for the best. Time will tell. Time heals all wounds. Your time will come. But we are all children. Surely our loss of innocence was not inevitable. We are just children. We should never have let ourselves be seduced by your gentle fingers, never have allowed your measurable intent to thrust into our unconscious modesty. We did not know we should be ashamed until you held us down, laughed at our utter vulnerability, left us crumpled in one corner of your meaningless prison cell while you turned to a pile of small stones one by one into the other. Could it have been this heinous crime that broke your spell? We no longer believe you, Father. We are not these selves that pass away. We are not these bags of bones that grow leathery in the mud. We are not even these swiftly tilting planets, these colored nebula, these creatures of light that spiral across the universe. We may be your children, Father, but we are not required to forgive your sentence. Count as many clicks of the clock, as many strokes of the pen, as many whistling sweeps of your scythe as you choose. We are not the self that defines our borders, nor the human that stands alone, nor the life that fades like a glowing coal, slowly going black. There is neither source nor end, for all ever comes back to the center. We know that. We no longer believe your lies. You made a mistake, Father, when you tried to control us. We are now becoming the future. No matter how many numbered fingers you scratch upon us, we will fly free, heedless, and constant, untainted by you, permanently free of your judgment.
Let's give it up for our homie Lauren. Yes, yes. It's a beautiful evening, y'all. Beautiful evening. We want to try to get as many of these homies in here. Just want to give y'all a heads up. We're offering some grace for about 5 minutes, so that's like a story in a poem. With that being said, can I try this out? When I say Dr. Dougie, can y'all say fresh? Dr. Dougie! Fresh! Dr. Dougie! Fresh! Felt that. Yo, Taylor, you are on deck, my friend. You are on deck. I'm really excited to bring up our next homie. Please clap it up and make some noise for Chris, y'all. Clap till Chris gets to the mic.
I met Douglas in 2019. Not to make her ego any bigger, but Lauren brought me to it. And ever since then, I have just fallen into poetry head first. The second time I went to Untitled was my first slam that I won. I beat Lauren. Thank you very much.
Hey, bring her down.
I brought you in this one.
But you can't pick her up now.
The poem I'm going to read tonight, there's a very touching memory with Douglas associated to it. It is in the Speakeasy anthology. It's called Love Becomes Me. When I wrote this poem and I read it for Douglas, he told me it was one of his favorite poems because it resonated with him so much. And I wrote that poem 5 years ago. And at the time, I didn't really know Douglas that well. And in the years that followed, I started to realize why this poem meant so much to him. And it's also a good reminder of how I've grown as an artist because of Douglas, very largely. So, this is Love Becomes Me. The most beautiful thing about me is when I love something, I let it become me. I never love lightly. Love is a typhoon in my heart. I drown in love. I let love fill my lungs and drag me deep into the unknown. I don't try to grasp onto reality as I sink into situations I've never experienced before. I'm not scared of getting hurt. I'd rather feel pain than nothing at all. Then I would know that my love was real. When I think of something that I love, it clouds my brain. I become obsessed. There is nothing else in my world that exists as long as love is on my mind. My only language is love. I was created from love. My body was molded from love. I spent time learning to love the person I am. I cook with love, I clean with love, and I fight with love. There is nothing inside of me but love, whether it be conventional love or love to hate. I have love inside of me that was refused by others. It is no other way out than being smeared on everything I touch. I do all things with passion. Why do something half-assed when I have the ability to give my soul to it? When I leave, a piece of me stays behind. I find joy in knowing that I will not be forgotten. And when I leave this world, I will leave behind a legacy of my love.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much for that story. All right. Mike Linehan, you are on deck, friend. You're on deck. I'm really excited that got another homie who pulled up. Really looking forward for them to share. Make some noise and let's welcome Taylor to the stage. Clap for Taylor!
Welcome back.
Hello. Yeah, I think like a lot of us share similar stories about Dougie. I started coming here in like late high school, and like this place in him and his encouragement. I mean, poetry is such an important part of like. Sorry, I'm a crier. I really am. And of my life, my processing, and I just feel like I wouldn't have been as encouraged to keep going with it if it wasn't for him in part, at least. And so I wrote this recently, and it's about the his passing and about trying to find joy and sadness in the end. And so, okay. My title, all my poems by date. November 9th, 2024. As time moves, so do I. I mean, of course, although not so simply. I trudge at a different pace than time, linger on and speed through moments despite that constant. I wonder if I can get through that, and I do. I wonder how long until the next languish and it comes. Much has happened, much has been said, and I trip over almost and I get back up. I will miss you as I did between hellos, and I'll remember you when I write. I doubt I'd be putting ink to page if not for your voice. And my mind and body flow through remembering and forgetting alike. Sway to the tune of memory, dance to the wallow and the joy. I think if you'll take my hand, if all of you will, this life could be good. We could be good together. Lay next to me, laugh with me, find the good. It's there, and if not now, it will be. We will be. Thank you.
Thank you so much, friend. Thank you so much, Taylor. Yo, Max, you are on deck, homie. You are on deck, Max. Excited to bring up the next individual. Please make some noise for Mike Linehan. Come here for Mike!
All right, so I'm doing this kind of off the dome, but
What a dome it is.
So I started coming to Untitled, I think in 2011, 2012, and Douglas felt like he was always just a major part of that. He was around my parents' age, so it kind of felt like a pseudo poetry father of sorts. He was kind and patient enough to be basically the makeshift editor of my latest book, which at 130 something pages, God bless him, he made me face some tough things when it came to editing. Like, I don't know if this like religious metaphor really works with the rest of the poem. I'm like, no, let it be. It's just poetry. It's fine. Let it be. But that was also who he was. Like, anytime he came up here, and anytime he spoke, it reminded me more of the energy of Whitman or Thoreau. It had a sort of like timeless quality that tapped into something philosophy based and spiritual. And it's, always made me think. But I think that's part of what we can continue doing here, is that he was such a large part of this community, and that's how we continue going. The poetry that feeds us and we share with each other, and it's the pillar of what we do. This particular piece was not part of that collection, but I'm pretty sure he helped me to fine tune it a little more when I was on the team in 2018, and we went to the Lizard Lounge. This is an oldie but goodie.
Oh shit!
Oh shit! I think you'll know when we start. This is for the sunrise.
Yes!
Wiping the sleep out of her eyes, for the ocean waves and sand as yet undisturbed. For the chattering birds, the captain send their ships to the horizon. For summer bike rides by the ocean, for the autumn leaves unfurling like the flags of 1,000 nations. For the hot cookies and hot cocoa you shared with friends while the snow piled up outside your windows. This is for finding the best in every season. This is for your first kiss under the monkey bars. For the first bully you stood up to. For the Friday nights when you danced and didn't care that you had no grace or rhythm. This is for the songs that ignite your bones and for the songs that hit the right chords in you. For when your fingers are hardwired in the strings of that old guitar you bought from the store downtown. For when your voice is married to the wind. The first time you heard poetry. The first time you wrote poetry, the words tumbled out clumsy, but strong and true. This is for the barista that knows just how you like your coffee every morning. For the baby that smiled open-mouthed toothless at you in the grocery store. For your grandmother's red lipstick kisses on your cheek. For the all-night diner that always feels like home after the war. For the street corner musician that thanked you as you tossed your change into his case. This is for the nights spent in the company of friends. When you feel free and eternal as the universe spinning overhead. For the chances you take. And the memories you keep folded in your breast pocket. For the smiles that come out when you never thought you'd feel those curves again. For when confessions and stories are shared by firelight and sound something like redemption. For your tongue tangling with another. For the mornings that find hickeys on your neck instead of cuts on your arms. These are the reasons to stay alive. When your spine is a collapsing tower. When your knees are kamikaze pilots. When the beast sticks his teeth into your lungs. Know that if you are perched on the bridge, staring into the dark waters below, there will always be someone who will sit with you and listen. Feet dangling over the edge like an unmade decision. It's a choice that doesn't have to end in defeat. So in those nights when the wolves are howling on your doorstep, remember these snapshots and recognize that hope is a skipping stone on the water. It takes time to get it just right. Dig your feet like anchors to the floor and refuse to be moved. The sunrise is a timid candle on your birthday cake. Choose a wish waiting to be taken. The world holds its breath in the dawn. The silence is a naked journal lying spread eagle. Take this gift and use your footsteps as ink in a typewriter of your body. This is for the sunrise, knowing that she is the best proof you need to carry on.
Shout out to the homie, Mike. Shout out to the homie. Thank you. Dr. Dougie. Right. Dr. Dougie. Right. Sasha, you are on deck, homie. You are on deck. You ready? I'm really excited to bring up this other homie. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. So happy to have you here. Please make some noise and welcome Max to the stage. Give it up for Max! Not till the poet gets to the mic.
So if you know my poetry or me at all, you know that it's very on brand that I wrote this tonight. As I always do, I can't read the same poem twice. How could I? Most of it is probably going to be off the dome while we stand here. But I remember the first night I read poetry in Brood Awakening. In 2015, I had just decided I wasn't going to college. I took a year off. I came with a person that I kind of knew from high school because I needed friends who were going to stay around for a year at least. And I left with an entirely new community. And this night, like, I walked into mill number 5 and I said, "Ooh, it feels like Brood Awakening 2015." Yeah. Which, if you understand what that feels like,
Right.
Good. It feels like Brood in here again. Like a little bit of home. I forgot how homesick I was. I forgot how it feels to be surrounded by words, to be surrounded by community, to be surrounded by artists and poets, to be encased in love and art and people, but you're missing those we never got to say goodbye to. those who created spaces for us, those who are still growing, still breathing, still making spaces for themselves. We are missing our community builders and explorers and teachers, our friends. But we are still here, being poets in coffee shops, doing what we do best. We are vibrant, we are community. I walked into the mill today and I felt home, I felt energy, like a comfort. But I wanted to say, speak easy, poet. Your words keep repeating in my mind. I can feel you here with us, the hat passing around. It is you who raised us in poetry, who always allowed us to feel, who taught us what it means to be a poet, to be a leader, to be an artist. And here we are celebrating you. Our hearts and souls reaching out to one another, energies embracing each other. We share and create. As we chant together, as we remember, you built this space to give us a home, a place to always come back to, a space that would always be open to us, no longer how long it had been. Rest in poetry.
Happy to have you, Max. It's been a minute. Thank you so much. Wow. Y'all, thank you for being here. Continue to be here. Show up. It feels full. We're going to do our best to get as many folks on this open mic. I just want to remind y'all we do have a beautiful, dense, cute open mic. So with that, Tim, you are on deck. All right, friend? I'm really excited for this next homie. Let's make some noise. Let's invite Sasha to the stage. Come in for Sasha!
Hello, my dear and wonderful humans. It's been a while since I've been over this way, but I'm still relatively new to this community in the sense that I just showed up a couple years ago and met all of you. And when I showed up, I was like, damn, there's good poetry over here. Been so starved. Like, I was in Arizona for a while, and then I was in Saratoga, and like, it was okay, but it wasn't as good. I'll just say that. And I was so grateful for Dougie and community that he fostered here. And I was so grateful, not just as a poet, but also as an educator, that this was a safe space for my kids to land and to share their work and to feel safe in that space. I think all of us know how written word has saved lives, you know, how it's really helped us to get through so much shit. And when I think about all of my kids, it's through the work that I've done with them in poetry that has really helped to give them a space to finally be themselves, to remember that they have a voice, that their voice is valuable. That's one of the most important things we can offer to any kid in this world. It is a space where they can feel like they have something to say that is worth other people hearing. That is a real life skill. So I felt so grateful to be here and for all that he fostered, not just in having this open mic, but also in all of the youth events. And it's so sweet to see so many kids that are here and even people who have grown up through the free verse community, like Ricky, who's a fucking badass. Okay. Anyway, so when I think about all of you, and I think about Dougie, I think about how, like, to me, Ars Poetica, like the reason we write poetry, it's because of all of you. So I'm going to read my Ars Poetica poem. I take all my ghosts, wrap them in dresses and suits of topaz, peony, and buttercup, sheathe them in sequins and leather. Then I furnish a ballroom where they drift ethereally, curving spiral patterns across a wooden floor, a page in a notebook, a chord in the larynx. Wisps promenade in long lines, form geometrical patterns that haunt like the curling glissado of a musical saw. I go to the wellspring of muses, sit in their waters, deign to rub the calves and feet of goddesses. I unfold the straying knots in their muscles, and those celestials sing to me with ebb and flow of waves. When I return, I sing the songs they taught. I offer each lilting note as nectar. You came to this page, this room, this shore between worlds, for you too are a ballroom full of shadows, are a strange meeting place where ancients gather as fire and flesh. Here we spit psalms of personal muses, behold inked stardust hymns on a page, fill our mouths with ambrosia from each other's utterances. We came to embrace the arms of personal ghosts, to waltz with holy wisps. This small sacrament leaves a place in me for you, a room where you can shake with tears trembling, where you can glow like a leaf in sunlight, bring laughter of honeycomb, bring song as wild and bright as chanterelles. There's a place in me that will set your broken bones, feed you broth, sew your split skin. When you leave, you will shine like steel. I know in you too there is a similar hollow where I can gather as rain, where a hand will hold mine when specters within me glare like embers and rattle my metal chains. This life will keep demanding that you carry slingshots to a battle with giants. At times, confronting expectations and disappointments will seem like bats you have to evict from the attic. For each other, we conjure words, forge promises like double-bladed battle axes. There is a fire in you that cauterizes wounds in me. For you, I carry a tiger's eye, lavender balm, the herb of eternal youth. These words we seek to rest the ghosts of wholeness of body, a light that is more than light, a fire no one can extinguish.
Shout out to the homie Sasha. Love that. On deck, we have the Butcher. Really excited to bring up this next homie. Let's make some noise and welcome Tim to the stage. Clap it up for Tim!
For context, this was Dougie's drink of choice when he was here. Every open mic that I went to, he had a cup of Pinot Grigio. Now, for those who understand the context behind this joke, this is not a glass of Pinot Grigio. This is a glass of Pinot Noir. Because I was a 19-year-old dumbass who knew nothing about liquor. To Dougie.
To Dougie.
I met Douglas as a little baby 5th grader in the Robinson. I met him roughly 3 months into the school year in in-house suspension, so I had to spend the entire day in his lovely classroom. At that time, I saw it as punishment. And I refused to do any of my schoolwork that day. So instead of being mad and, doing the teacher thing of yelling at me, he gave me a book. Very specifically, he gave me On the Road. And he said, here, you don't want to do your schoolwork, read this instead. Never thought of anything at the time, but yes, I read the entire thing cover to cover in a day. And I will never think twice about what he means. I came to my first open mic on October 3rd, 2017, as a junior in high school, 2 days after I attempted. I got an email from Douglas because I had been in the Kerouac contest a few weeks prior, and he said, hey, you should come to the open mics. There's a lot of great people. And I did. And now I'm a father. So in some way, I can thank Douglas for the family I have. Both the literal family and my extended family. So I wrote this the day after the Halloween open mic, after I had received information about Douglas's decline. Not knowing what was going to happen, I figured I needed to write something. And then finding out he passed, I knew I had to finish it. So this is titled The Freshest. To the man of many words, you have always found a way to fill the empty spaces. No corner was left empty when you were in the room. No voice was left without meaning once your face appeared. You were so inspirational that silence had a purpose when you were present. You left no stone unturned. To the man of many hats, you taught me that sun care was just as important as style. You taught me that simple headwear can give words purpose. And you taught me that not all light is as toxic as they say. You taught me that sometimes even darkness is too bright. To the man of many shirts, you never failed to brighten a room with your marvelous sense of fashion. You never let anyone leave without being heard. And you made every space you stepped into your optimistic playground. To the man of many pens, where there was an empty hand, you had a pen. Where there was a lonely pen, you had the paper. And where there was shallow darkness, you made light. Where there were words of intent, you made meaning. To the man of many wisdoms, you gave so much and asked for so little in return. You left a legacy that cannot be forgotten. You have a presence that will never be lost. You are the teacher, and I am forever your student.
Shout out to the homie Tim, y'all. Yes.
You can have that.
All right. On deck, we got Tom Laughlin. You're on deck, my friend. All right. Really excited to bring up this next individual. Make some noise. Let's welcome the Butcher. Clap it to the homie gets to the mic.
Greetings, everyone. I do encourage you to record, photograph, and take notes. A lot of you are probably thinking, who the fuck is this guy? I'm the guy that drops his poetry. Reason why I say that there's a lot of new faces here. There's some faces I recognize, some faces I have never seen before, some very young people. Untitled, but I can't. I'm a bill collector. I work in Manchester till 7 o'clock at night. I can never make it here on time. But if you get a call, hi, this is Alan Davies from blah, 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 hang up because I'm asking for money. This is an aspect I don't think Dougie Fresh knew. But I met Doug. You're all talking about Untitled. I met Douglas Bishop. He was still Douglas Bishop back around 1991-92 at Stone Soup Poetry, which is the nexus, the ground zero for pretty much every poetry reading that's been long running since the 90s. Okay? Now, he went on his path. He's an educator. I went on my path. I'm a punk ass. So we both had our own poetry careers, and I'd come in whenever I could. I would come to this because one of the repeating themes is youth poetry. I loved coming here for the youth poetry. I couldn't care less about you adults. Fuck you. The children had some of the best insights. Some of the best. So some of you might remember me from when you were this big, when I was coming down and being crazy. The other thing is, if those of you who know me, I saw Lexi down here. She goes down the Lizard Lounge. There she is. Saw her the other night. Good show. That he did not kick me out. Now, those of you who know me say, wow, that's so. Michael Brown personally kicked me out of the third rail. All right. Another poet host personally kicked me out of his poetry reading and told me never to come back. He went senile, so I did. That's a badge of honor, mind you. All right, but Dougie Fresh always let me in, let everybody have their voice. He never bumped people because, Lexi's here. We're gonna put her on before this one. He didn't pull that shit. And I love Doug. And I have to say, Sunday night, if you were there for my open mics, I don't know, Lexi, if you were there, I was all verklempt because I just found out that he passed. I didn't even know there was problems. He was sick. No clue, because I'm on the fringe of the fringe of the fringe. So kind of out of the loop. Thank you, Professor Blake Newman, for breaking that to me. So why is the death of Douglas Bishop affecting me so much? He's a beautiful human being. We're poetry friends. We encourage each other. I learn from him. He doesn't realize that I learn things from him. He did not encourage me. He never took me aside and said, "Here, that poem." It didn't matter, right? We're friends. We talked about different things. And I teased him for being a doctor of poetry, which I was happy to find out that he did make doctor, because I mean, it's a love, right? It's love. So what I realize is that because I'm so far out of the loop, I find out about people dying like after the fact. So he was just one more person that had passed within the past couple of years. And that I think it just kind of all came together. Like, these are all really good friends. But I live up here, and a lot of them down in Cambridge. So, you know how it is if you drive down there from up here. But anyway, so this piece I wrote yesterday when I found out this was happening tonight. New shit. Very new shit. It's for Dougie, but it's also for everybody else. Because after 32 years of going out to poetry and being consumed by poetry, and when you get to my age and my writing status, you'll understand what it means being consumed by poetry. Some of you may get it right now, but when you're walking through the woods and you come across a trail with this random poetry that you didn't know about, the fuck? Anyway, but what I want you to do, and a lot of times you want you to sit quietly, listen to the poet, and be all attentive, and, snap your fingers and go, that's awesome, which is great. We love that. But what I want you to do, because I'm a religious man of faith, some of you may go to church, some of you go to temple, some of you may go to the mosque. I don't give a fuck. I want you to shout out randomly people that you've lost that are poets, influences. Don't worry about me. I'll read the poem. I've done this in bars for years, so whatever. Just shout out whatever comes to mind. Not whatever, but whoever comes to mind. I have some examples here in case you're, So I want this to be a celebration, of course, of our friend Doug. That's why we're all here, but also a celebration of people that we may have lost. That, like myself, I haven't had time to say goodbye. In fact, I didn't even know they moved on. Like, what the hell? So this, you'll understand about the shouting out randomly with no thought. This requires no thinking. I didn't think when I wrote this. I just sat by the ocean, let God talk to me, and this is it. So this is called One Other Thing. My legal team has advised me to warn you. Sometimes I'm a politically incorrect zone. So this title, as some of you may say, may be like a trigger. I don't mean it as a trigger. It's just what I want you to do and how I want you to think. It's called Saint Tourette. Shout their praise. A meditation. I'm going to try to keep it calm and subdued. Oh, when the saints come marching in, I want to be in that number when the saints come marching in. Breakwater lee seat, thoughts of past peers. Jack Powers! Autumn breezes blow seaside skeletries. Calm bay, gentle ripples lap stony shore. Billy Burnham! Mallards paddle, dive to feed, dive under, resurface into sunshine. Brother Blue! Rocks roll in the reshaping tide. The sea refuses no river. Myself hoop! Currents ebb, flow, assimilation. Jet stream of consciousness carves clouds, gypsy gulls on the wing, aerial ballet. Big Cusumano! Oh, when the saints, Big Daddy Lawtown! Center stage, Fort Park.
Lee Hanchey!
Lone Crow, murder of one calls. Spirit messenger. Jack Kerouac! Wise advice from Grateful Dead. Jerry Garcia! Ghost croon. Think this through with us. Lee Kidd! Raven perched on rock. Silent meditative poise. Recenters with song. Live like you'll die, 'cause with grace on sun we come, wind we go. Jen Bliss! Oh, when the saints come marching in, their names I'll raise and remember. Gary Michael Lawson! Their names I'll raise and remember. Come on, let's hear some names raised in remembrance. Let's. Charles Bukowski!
Zach Bacon's nose!
And the saints will come marching in. John Sinclair! There's a loss. We're all keys made to unlock each other. We're all keys. We're all keys.
Paul Diano!
We're all keys. Doc Tony!
Missy Sparrow.
We're all saints. We're all saints. They're all saints. And when the saints come marching in, keep them in your heart and in your memories. Praise and raise their name. Dr. Dougie Fresh! Douglas Bishop! That is heaven. That is heaven. Peace. Hosanna. Hallelujah! And can I get an amen? Thank you very much, and I am the Butcher. Praise be to Douglas and what he has created. We are his legacy. Let's make it work and bring the joy outward.
Give it up for the Butcher, y'all. Dr. Dougie.
Fresh!
Dr. Fresh! All right, I'm gonna keep you on your toes. All right, with that, Andy, you're on deck. All right. Wow. Graciousness, but with some slight swiftness as well. All right. I don't know what that is, but graciousness with some swiftness. We're going to get as many folks through before we move on to our end of the stream and the rest of this tribute open mic. So, with that being said, I want you to make some noise and welcome Tom Laughlin to the open mics. Give it up for Tom, y'all.
Great to see the crowd here. I'm Tom Laughlin, creative writing program coordinator at Middlesex Community College. We've had members of our Middlesex community who found nourishment and light for so many years at the Untitled open mic. And I think of Doug and I think of his creating, supporting, nurturing the richness of people's voices. And we, a few years ago, discussed trying to make richer connections between Middlesex, and he was excited about it and wanted to expand and help make those connections and nurture more people coming through. And we started at Middlesex, deciding to have a Middlesex night at the Untitled. He was all in. And I had a book come out in 22, and he featured me, invited me to be part of the Dead Poets Slam. and had my colleagues come in. And last spring had the idea of having our students as features, students and alumni. And that was wonderful again to hear more of those voices. And I was like, yeah, why the fuck not? You know, why the faculty? So it was great and really celebrating. We all hunger for community, and he's helped that nurturing and supporting over many years. That's great. I read this poem, a version of this poem a while ago here, and the encouragement and support here is something that had me turning back and working further on it. I'm reading it because it is revised and because it was accepted and then published just this past week in Nix's Mate Review, literary magazine. Just got it in the mail, and it's also online as well. And it's about the connections and the ways we hunger for connections. And it's called Skinship. In Korean culture, that term has been coined by them and to capture that importance of the connection of touch with babies and mother, father. And we know that psychologically kids will be messed if they don't have that physical touch, and the importance of that. And that also over time has been expanded to the importance of touch all our lives. I always shook Doug's hand firmly and felt that and hugged. And so feeling that importance of touch. So this is called Skinship for D. Beacon Street made way for us, walking this evening to the bookstore. Inside, we take our seats in the crowd, spaced for social distance. The venerable poet steps to the podium. Her new poems grab and weave through Paris streets into smoky Beirut cafes of exiles and refugees, past shawarma, jamembert, cups of Halib Mahal. But the after warmth of you is fading. My hand wants your fingers, the warmth of your lower back curving against me. Thank you.
Shout out to you, Tom. Thank you so much. Awesome. All right. With that, Rocky, you're going to be on deck, friend. Get ready, my friend. I'm really excited to bring up this homie. This homie's already up here. Let's give it up for Andy.
Keep clapping.
Hello. Test. Is this working too? Oh, yeah. Dougie. Sound good to me? Yeah, sounds good to you? Yeah. All right, this goes out to Dougie. Wow, this is amazing. So for me, this is everything. Oh my God, Jesus. Everyone here together, and Dougie doing that for us. He used to always let me play guitar here, and we need more people like Dougie. It's so beautiful to hear his poems. Please keep on, saying his poems, publishing his poems. We don't die. Our bodies do. So here's a song I wrote. It's pretty sad.
Sad shit.
Sad shit, yeah. And I wish I knew that that you wanted something new. And I wish you could be everything that you wanted to be. But I know that deep down inside we all got places to hide from everything outside. Whoa. Because when you're in the dark, the light comes in. And I wish we could dance, share a little peace and romance. And I wish we could laugh about everything in our past. But I know that deep down inside we all got places to hide from everything outside. Whoa. Because when you're in the dark, the light comes in. All life you felt the pain, but your whole life was just love. Yeah, oh, oh. All life you felt the pain, but your whole life was just love. Yeah, whoa, yeah. All life you felt the pain, but your whole life was just love. All life you felt the pain, but your whole life is just love. For Dougie.
Let's give it up for the homies. I found the missing pen. We're getting close to the end of this first part of the tribute open mic. But continue that energy and welcome the homie Rocky to the stage. Give it up for Rocky!
Hello, everybody. My name is Rocky. As I said, I really want to thank Rick for giving me a chance to be here tonight. I'm not nearly as creative as all the people that have been up here. I'm going to do a song by somebody else. But I knew Doug until tonight only as an educator. And 90% of the time he wasn't Doug, he was Mr. Bishop. So it's been so heartwarming and inspirational to be here tonight and to see this legacy that he's left behind. I always knew he was a big poetry guy. And I'm kicking myself that in a couple of years since we both retired, I hadn't made it down here for one of the nights when he was here. But, you know, those are just regrets. Nothing I can do about that now. But I want to tell you that he was the same empathetic, funny, generous, kind individual as a teacher. You heard the person that didn't want to study and gave him on the road. That was very typical of Doug. There weren't many kids that couldn't get along. In fact, I can't think of a single one as I'm standing here tonight that couldn't get along with Mr. Bishop. He had something for everybody, and he had care and love for everybody. It was just inspiring to see, and it's very inspiring to see you all here tonight. I'm very humbled and very honored to be standing here. But this is the first time I'm going to do this song, so hopefully it comes out semi-good. And actually, I just realized I forgot my song. So this is a song by Warren Zevon, great songwriter and poet. You might know Werewolves of London or Lawyers, Guns, and Money, but he also wrote this guy. Shadows are falling and I'm running out of breath. Keep me in your heart for a while. If I leave you, it doesn't mean I love you any less. Keep me in your heart for a while. When you get up in the morning and you see that crazy sun, keep me in your heart for a while. There's a train leaving nightly called when all is said and done. Keep me in your heart for a while. Shy-lie, low. Keep me in your heart for a while. Shy-lie, low. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sometimes when you're doing simple things around the house, maybe you'll think of me and smile. No, I'm tied to you like the buttons on your blouse. Keep me in your heart for a while. Hold me in your thoughts. Take me to your dreams. Touch me when I fall into view. When the winter comes, keep the fires lit. I will be right next to you. Engine drivers headed north to Pleasant Stream. Keep me in your heart for a while. These wheels keep turning, but they're running out of steam. Keep me in your heart for a while. Keep me in your heart for a while.
Let's give it up for Rocky. Thank you for coming to the open mic. And please come back. Please come back. Please come back. All right. Y'all are troopers. Y'all are here. Cutest open mic, cutest venue right now. We're doing big shout outs to Dougie. Big shout outs to just a lot of folks who invited us in and keeping shit rocking, you know. So please, if you're an educator, inspiration, a best friend, like, thank them, celebrate them, whatever that may be. I'm really excited to bring up my homie, and this person's been doing a lot, holding it down. You may be chopping it with him for poetry things or non-poetry related things, but if you see this person again, please tell them thank you, because this co-conspirator, co-organizer is making shit happen, especially during these challenging times. So let's welcome our dear homie Rico to the open mic.
So I just want to start by thanking every single one of you that made it out tonight. This is such a blessing and a heartwarming experience to see everyone show up and be here to honor Dougie's memory and share all of these wonderful, wonderful stories. It means a lot to me as someone who spent most of my last 7 years of my life working hand in hand with this guy and making sure that the community that he worked so hard to bring together and to build can continue and be cherished by everybody long after he passes, after we pass, and can continue bring together the next generation after the next generation and keep the Lowell poetry wheel turning. Yeah. So thank all of you. Thank you. So one of the folks that couldn't make it out tonight, that was here very, very often when I first came back after a few years of being away, was Janet Egan and Nancy Jasper. Some of y'all might remember them. They are watching via the YouTube stream. Hi, Janet, Nancy. We miss you. And I have a poem from Janet to share with y'all for starters to start things off. It's an acrostic for Douglas. Digital extension of consciousness silenced. Open mic about to begin. Untitled shall always be untitled. Giant steps, Dr. Dougie's jazz. Lost too big for words, a love supreme. Uncharted. Dr. Dougie's birthday, 2016, soul making. And I have one little bit longer poem to wrap up this section of the open mic for everybody. Most of you have probably heard it, maybe not, with a little bit of musical accompaniment this time.
Oh, shit. Okay, flute.
Oh, shit. Some of y'all might recognize this. Those of Irish descent absolutely will. It's called the Parting Glass. All the money that e'er I had, spent it in good company, in all the harm that ere I done. Alas, it was to none but me. Time, last night, was not measured in dollar signs. It was measured in laughter, in smiles, in the indiscriminate envelopment of each and every wonderful human that graced the stage with their presence. Time became something of an effigy, a wicker man that we burned with pleasure. Let the flame snake high from its base and wreathe our minds in a beautiful, bountiful breath. Let it consume us, suffuse our being like water filling a thirsting void. The steam rise around us, the mists of our becoming. The myriad personas, a plethora of picturesque particles dancing with excitement. And all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. For a time, we became warriors of words, forging battle cries, bountiful and boisterous, holding entropy at bay with our shields spoken into existence, leading the charge into the breach, discourse diving into the deepest parts of our personal histories and living to tell the tale. Like the heroes of the past, we wove these tales of our survival, a comfort found in sharing, a solace we seek each time we step before each other and spill our secrets across the stage, an outpouring of emotion, eliciting an energetic effervescence that at least emulates empathy. When we leave, the ghosts of our becoming will still haunt these halls. These open spaces for open minds where no matter the distance, a shadow of our words, our histories, live on in each ear that listened, each heart we touched. But since it has so ought to be, by a time to rise and a time to fall, come fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. Good night and joy be with you all. Thank you all.
Let's give it up for Rick of y'all. That's the homie right there. That's the guy. That's one of our guys. That's one of our guys. At this point, I want to shout out to all the homies who may have been watching with us live or might be want to watch it later. Thank you for being here. We want to be ending our stream and continuing to the remainder of our open mic. Okay, so I'm gonna play some music and I'm gonna click end stream.